Oh man, I left my blanket. Have to have it. Be right back. I just topped up my coffee before I got over here, took the blanket off of my lap, forgot to grab it before I sat back down. This is a very special blanket, actually. I have a friend who, hey there, Desiree. I have a friend who pieced this blanket when she was 14. She was in her 80s by the time I knew her, and she quilted it during the time that I knew her. And then she gave it to me, and that was back in the 90s. So that would have been about 70-ish years old, the top back in the 90s. And now the 90s, we're in the 20s. How long ago is that? So 30 years later, so the top on this is probably about 100 years old. And I like to, when you read, you really should have something that is near you, touching you every time you read. That way it can catch some of that divine energy. And that way, if you know somebody who's sick or whatever, you can let them snuggle up under that blanket and get some healing. So some people will read like in a cloak if they're really old school. I like to have my blankie around. I did not just get home. I've actually been home for a while. I did go out and walk around the reservoir with my little 7-year-old neighbor upstairs. Right? They're very special. Hey, my life is Harry Potter. My life is Harry Potter school. Hogwarts. It's kind of funny. Whenever all the Harry Potter books came out, I was a big time holy roller at a Pentecostal church. And I used to watch like the 700 Club, and they were like, oh, that encourages witchcraft. That's such a terrible series. You should never, ever read that. And I did not read those books for the longest time. And then around 2013, I started going to the Boulder Psychic Institute, and everybody was always making references to that book or those books and joking around about Hogwarts and muggles and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, oh, I have to read these books just so that I can keep up with everybody and know what they're talking about. All right, so we have cards cleared. You guys know what I like to do for my favorite first spread. I think so too. I haven't actually seen too much of the movies. I've seen bits and pieces here and there. But you know what? Like imagination. You can't beat imagination. That's what I have to say when you're telling a story. All right, so let's see here. First spread is going to be our best manifestation advice over the next 24 hours. So be thinking about what is it you would like to manifest in your life, whether you're expecting it to take more than 24 hours or less. Go ahead and think about that. Let's get that energy into these cards. Those of you who are coming across this video later, Spirit is not limited by time or space, so you can get your energy on these cards too. Be thinking about what you want to manifest. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba. Yeah, we've got the new year coming up quick, but let's manifest. Let's manifest now. Let's not wait till the new year. Let's not wait till the new year. All right. Look at this. We start off with Lamat coming up in reverse. This would just be the Fool in another deck. I'm not even sure what language this is. I'm assuming it's Italian. The artist was Italian. Anyway, the Fool talks about this idea of that it's time to really look at something we've started as a leap of faith towards our manifestation already. And it's time to evaluate whether there's any more juice in that or whether it served its purpose and figure out, are we going to carry this moving forward? And if so, what are we going to tweak? What are we going to adjust moving forward? So, with the way this card comes up, I'm going to say that we're going to decide there's still good juice and move forward with it, but adjustments need to be made. Now, second card that we have coming up is our Knight of Swords coming up in reverse. Knight of Swords coming up in reverse basically talks about this idea of being quiet, holding things in, not having those conversations, not sharing information. Doesn't mean lie about things. It just means don't bring things up that don't need to be brought up, especially when it comes to what we're working on manifesting. And then with our Three of Wands coming up in reverse, this basically says that this quiet that we need to keep is only for a short time. Because once this starts to manifest, we won't be able to keep it quiet. Look at that ship coming in. Once that ship comes in, we won't be able to be quiet. But until it comes in, we need to be quiet about what we're trying to manifest. We don't want to give any power to somebody who doesn't understand manifestation and tries to pop those dreams. So, think about what we need to adjust moving forward on our leap of faith towards manifesting what we want to manifest. Keep things quiet until they show up. Once they show up, we can talk about them. Keep it on the down low. Exactly. All right. So, Desiree, would you like me to read for you today? Anybody else who wants a reading, you need to say so. Say so. Desiree, I guess I should say, tell me if you have a question for me, if you want a message from Spirit. Woohoo! Woo-oo. Anybody else that wants a reading, go ahead and speak up now. That way I'll know who I'm reading for next. Message from Spirit for Ms. Desiree. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. If you notice this message resonating for you, make good use of it in your life. However, if it does not resonate, please don't try to stretch it out, scrunch it up, throw it in the dryer, or run over it to make it fit. Let the person who needs to hear it, and see if the next one fits you better. All righty. Desiree, let's see what we have. See what we have for you. I should see if I can get a second camera set up here so you guys can see the cards as they come down. Could I do that, actually? I've got a project for whenever I'm done here tonight. All right, so Desiree, we're starting off with the 10 of Cups for your situation. This talks about reaching some kind of goal or target whenever it comes to your happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, something like that. And it is crossed by the Magician. We love it, love it, love it. This just talks about the idea that you are manifesting your own happiness, satisfaction, or fulfillment. Yay! All right, best advice or heads up whenever we have this coming up here. Ooh, look at this. If you want to manifest your happiness or fulfillment. In a nutshell, this is saying it's not time to commit to anything. Of course, we know Mercury's in retrograde now, Mars is too, but Mercury being the more key element here that's impacting this, I think. Let's look at this. The Emperor in reverse. This tells me that you're not feeling very much in control of manifesting your own happiness here. Isn't that interesting? You're having to surrender to what Spirit's doing. Look at this. 7 of Cups. There's actually lots of opportunity, lots of options coming in around you to help you to manifest your happiness. But we have La Pape. We have the Hierophant showing up in reverse, which says don't commit to anything just yet. It's not time to make that commitment just yet. All right. So when we have the 7 of Cups, this says, there's lots of opportunities. Right now is the time to be thinking about which opportunity would be the best one to move forward with to help you bring forward that happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment in your life. It's not time to commit to that yet. It's time to just kind of sit back and let Spirit bring in all the options so you can start sorting through them in your mind. No signing on any dotted lines just yet, though. That has to do with your purpose in life. Well, what makes us happy and satisfied usually is our purpose. That makes sense. You've got a lot of directions you can take it right now. Yeah. Yeah. Surrender to let it start flowing. I love it. Right? And it's not time to take them off just yet. Wait till that Mercury comes out of retrograde. Aisha Sharif, hello, hello. Do you have a question for me today, honey bunny, or would you like a message from Spirit? Sure, stick a question right there in the chat box. I'll be happy to look at it for you. Make it a specific question, if you don't mind. I feel like specific questions give us specific answers, which allow us to move forward productively. If we ask really vague, open ended questions, we may not get the specific answers that we need to be very productive. And I want you to get the best answer possible. When does Mercury in retrograde end? I want to say the end-ish of this month. Let's see. Let's Google that. Actually, let's Google that on my phone so I don't have to lose my camera. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Let's ask the assistant. When does Mercury in retrograde end this time around? Okay. Let's look at that whole page. These are dates for 2024 and 2025. No, I don't really want your email. What is Mercury retrograde? We know what it is. When is it? Okay, November 25th to December 15th. And then you've probably got about a 2-week shadow period after. So consider it basically still active until the end of the month, I would say, till at least the 28th. Okay, so Zaid Mahboob, I have been thinking about Aisha Sharif. Okay, so what has Zaid been thinking about Aisha today? What has he been thinking about Aisha today? Thoughts are very transitory. Tomorrow he may be thinking something completely different. Froggy! Froggy's in the room. Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. What on earth kind of relationship do you have with this person, Aisha? I don't even know what to think about this person's thoughts. Holy Toledo. Okay, well that makes sense. So you guys are already like set to marry each other? Or somebody still has to make a decision here? Teresa, hello, hello, hello. You haven't made the decision. Well, I would say he's thinking about the decision. His thoughts are definitely on that decision, and he is thinking in circles. He does not know which way to go right now. Okay, here's your first two cards. Your first two cards is the Hierophant, which does talk about marriage, and the Justice card, which talks about divorce. So this is definitely, should I marry her? Shouldn't I marry her? I should marry her. I shouldn't marry her. With this Eight of Swords coming up in the end, this guy is thinking in circles about it. He's thinking in circles about it. I think that he knows he has to make up his mind and he has to do it. This is taking all of his focus. This may even be everything that he's talking about to everyone around him. He's just trying to make up his mind. Well, I mean, you're definitely in contention because he is thinking about it. He is thinking about it. So I would say he likes you a lot. All right, let's see. Who's next here? Who else wants a reading here in the room that I haven't read for already? By the way, guys, don't forget to put a thumbs up. I don't have one thumbs up and I've already read for 2 people. What? What's happening here, guys? And also don't forget to share this video out to other people as well who might like a reading also. If anybody wants a reading, put your question in the chat box. And if you just want a message from Spirit, put message from Spirit in the chat box. And whoever I see show up first, that'll be the next person I read for. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what you're asking me. I check psychic also. I'm a psychic tarot reader. So when I look at the cards, I'm interpreting them psychically. They just happen to be the tool that I use. Okay. Kathy wants to know, will her sister, Peggy, be accountable for her actions towards my mom? Look at this. This came out kind of sideways. This means she was acting a little bit shady. Came out while I was reading your question. She was acting kind of shady, which we kind of figured from your question anyway. But at least we know Spirit's on the same page. Will Peggy be held accountable for her actions towards Kathy's mom? Yes or no? Yes or no? Ooh, they have a lot to say about this. We're just going to take these cards that fell out. Oh, that's really interesting. What do we have going on here? Okay, first of all, we have the Page of Wands showing up in reverse. This talks about somebody not having a whole lot of energy and telling somebody, look, I don't really have the bandwidth for your silliness. Okay. And next we have the Queen of Coins. I really think that your mom is like, you know what? I'm tired of your silliness and I'm not tolerating it anymore. Where I've been generous to you before, I am cutting that off. And the Knight of Pentacles says that it might take her some effort actually to cut your sister off. I think she's going to do it. I don't have anything here with like a King of Swords or something like that that would tell me that anything is happening legally. As much as this is your mom saying, I am sick of your beep. Okay. Now, here's the message that came out for you. Those were the cards that fell. This message actually came out more directed at you for this. And so we have the Five of Wands in reverse, which basically says stay in your lane. Don't be distracted by the cray-cray. Focus on you and what you need to get done accomplished. And Nine of Swords says relax. Relax. I think Spirit's got this. Between your mom and Spirit, I think they've got this. They just want you to chill out and know that they got this. All right. I hope that makes sense for you. That was interesting, wasn't it, Desiree? All right, let's see. Teresa, what do you want to know? Tell me about my new man I'm going to meet. Will I like him when we meet? You know, that's an interesting question, isn't it? I did not like my first husband when I first met him. I thought he looked like one mean SOB. And then I married him and I stayed married to him for 12 years. After he asked me to marry him, it took me 2.5 days to say yes. Then we lasted 12 years. You're quite welcome. 12.5, 12. That's a long time for thinking somebody looks like a mean SOB, isn't it? I did not like him at all. And our first date, he said something incredibly stupid, and I just walked out. We were at a room party at his supervisor's suite back in Galena when I was in the Air Force. And he said something No, I think one of his friends said something mean about one of the other girls stationed there, and there was only 11 of us stationed there, 11 of us girls. And he chimed in and said, "Yeah." And I got up. I was the only girl at the party. And I got up and I said, "Don't be talking like that about these other females. You don't know what they're going through and what they're like." And he said, "Blah, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Okay." I picked up my beer. I thanked his supervisor for having me to the party, and I walked out the door and down the hall. I was on my way home. And apparently, he was just sitting his little rear end on the couch until his supervisor said, "Do you want that?" And he said, "Well, yeah." "Then you better go get it. There's only 11 of those females on this base." So, anyway, let's see. New man. Tell me about Teresa Horton's new man. Will she like him when she meets him? Will she like him when she meets him? That's how that went down, Teresa. He pissed me off real good. I don't know. We still stayed together a long time. Oh, he's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. Hmm. Going to be hot and sweet. And he's going to enjoy pampering you. Look here. Look here. You got the 6 of wands, all right? So, no, not still. We only lasted 12 years. I've been married since then. 6 of wands says y'all really appreciate each other. It's also very fiery, right? Knight of cups, it says this guy is not afraid to take some romantic action, take you out, you know, be all sweet and cuddly, right? King of wands, though, man, sex is going to be important. All right. This king of wands, they're fiery, they're passionate. If you're not down with the sex, then this guy may not be for you. Look at here. Look at here. You're showing up as being more intellectually motivated. So you're going to be intellectually stimulated. He's going to be more sensually stimulated. And he's more of the romantic. You're definitely more about the does it make sense to be together thing. He's more of the romantic guy. All right. Now, here's what you're going to like. This 5 of pentacles, this is talking about, not afraid to spend some money on you. Not afraid to pamper you. Are you a little late with your car bill? Well, let me help you out with that, baby. Okay. So, will you like him? I think you'll like him. I don't see you as being like the perfect match. The perfect match would be 2 quartz equally aged court cards in the same suit. But I think you're going to appreciate the material side of him. And as long as you're earthy enough to get into the passionate side and you can enjoy the romantic side, I think so. This guy's kind of the whole package, man. Cheese on bread. One question per reading. If you want to get more questions answered, you can always book a private reading with me. I do have 1 or 2 question readings. Those are recorded. And I have 30-minute, 45-minute, or 1 hour long in-person readings. And when I say in person, I mean like on camera or on the phone. So live readings, I guess I should say. You can find all those options on my website listed in the description below. And I also do mentoring for those of you interested in learning how to read the cards or learning how to tap into your abilities. Let's see. Anybody else in here that needs me to answer a question, let me know. Let me know. I see there's 5 people here. I think I've only answered 4 questions. Right? Froggy, Nomad, Teresa, Aisha, That means somebody in here hasn't got a question answered. Don't forget to put a thumbs up if I help y'all. And also, guys, share this video so other people can get their questions answered too. Share this video. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Boop-a-doo-doo. All I can tell you is that man looked pretty interested and pretty passionate, Teresa. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. All right. Well, I don't see anybody else telling me that they want a reading. I can't believe that. Normally, to get a reading from me, you have to pay for it. No, Mad, you can manifest that too. We can all manifest that if that's what we want. If that's what we want. All right, ladies, it is time for me to get out of here. Everybody have a fantastic evening. And I'll see you guys back on the next video. Peace out.